So now I'm going to do this with the mic on. So welcome everyone to the 21-day Tai Chi challenge, day number 13, live session number 2. All right, I think you can all hear me now. Awesome. All right, and so today we're gonna weave everything we learned together into one seamless flow. And so even if you haven't done the previous sessions, then you can still follow along. All right, I think you'll still enjoy it. All right, and so what we'll do is about a 35-minute Tai Chi and yoga flow. And then from there, I'm going to break down one of the movements, grasping the bird's tail. So I'm going to show you where to put your foot, where the hands go, where the eyes go, how far to turn the torso. So pretty much all the things we do in traditional Tai Chi. So without further ado, find a place where you can do some mindful movement. All right, so for this sequence, you don't have to get anything perfect. You don't have to memorize anything. Just follow along, just do what you see. I'll be your mirror image, but you can always go rogue, as I like to say, whatever helps you get into the flow. And so we'll add in some gentle standing yoga postures, but you can have a seat at any point. We will do it, I'll demonstrate it fully in standing, but you can alternate sitting and standing as needed. And then I cue the breathing. If that part stresses you out, you can just breathe normal. And then also what we'll do is after the flow, I'm gonna break down one of the movements and then I'll leave you off with a nice quote for the day. All right, and so if you're standing, we'll begin with the feet together or as close as you can. The hands can come to the lower abdomen and then you can close your eyes or just keep a soft gaze. And as you breathe in, the belly expands. And as you breathe out, the belly returns towards the spine, abdominal breathing. Breathing in and breathing out, coming into the present moment, arriving in the body, just letting go of the worries from the day. And then on the next inhale, you can hold for just a moment and then let it out with a big sigh, just letting out tension and stress. The hands can float down by the sides. And as you breathe in, the arms float up. They circle in front as if you're gathering in energy, bring it into the heart. Send it down through the body, into the earth. Sinking the chi, the life force energy. In yoga, we call it the prana. This time the arms float all the way up and over. The hands come together, prayer position. The hands float down to the heart and they float back up. The arms drift out and down, nice and easy, nice and slow. One more time, as the hands come together, we call that Anjali Mudra, or prayer position, right at the heart. Floating up and then drifting out and down. And then from here you can step one foot out to the side, either foot. The arms float up in front, just to about shoulder height. Then the arms get heavy, floating down, the knees and hips soften. Opening the door, starting the journey, riding the wave. Sometimes we call it opening the flow. Just feeling into the movements. One more time, open the door. This time the arms float out to the sides as you spread your wings. Then the arms float down, the palms face up. They float right up the midline, turning at the heart, pressing up overhead, and then floating out and down, holding up the sky. Breathing in as you rise up. Breathing out, floating down, nice and easy, nice and slow. One more time, holding up the sky, and then letting it go. All right, this time the hands float up to the heart. One hand pushes up, the other pushes down, connecting above and below. Then we'll do the other side, keeping the spine neutral at first. And then if you want, this time you can do a side bend, but never forcing it, always easing in. All right, one more time to the other side. All right, now this time, the top hand comes down to the hip, the other hand reaches up, and then press your hip right out to the side, and we'll hold for a breath or two in our half moon pose, our Ardha Chandrasana. The bottom hand can come up too if you want. So either one's fine by me. All right, then we'll go to the other side, so switch hands. The other hand comes right to the hip, pushing the hip out to the side as the other arm reaches up. And you can always soften the arm too. You can keep your hand right at the hip or you can reach it up too. Your half moon, And then from here, rising up, the hands float down, the hands press behind. Nice and easy. Then as the hands float out in front, you can sit down into your chair. And then coming back up, I like to ease in and out a few times. Coming into your chair pose, your Utkatasana. All right, one more time. This time you can hold for a few breaths, and you don't have to go very low. Just meeting yourself where you're at. You can always come to prayer position too. I like to reach out and soften, or sometimes even reaching up. And then when you're ready, the hands float down as you rise up. Circle the hands in front as you hug the tree. And then draw the hands in towards the heart, and then we'll step right to the corner. And as you step out, pushing forwards in space, pushing the mountain. We'll do that again. Nice and easy, nice and slow. So we learn to move like nature with effortless ease. All right, this time as you push out, the back foot steps back just a little bit to give you some more stability. The arms float up like a big wave. The front knee can stay bent, rooting down into the earth through the feet, tall through the spine. You can even open the heart to the sky, exalted warrior. What does it feel like to be exalted? Then the hands can float down to about the heart level. Step the back foot up just a bit. Draw in as you push out one more time. Just to keep it flowing. Then the front foot steps back in. The hands come back to the heart. Shift the weight. We'll go to the other corner as you push. Breathing in and breathing out, or take as many breaths as you need. Push and pull. All right, this time, as you push out, the back foot steps back, the arms float up again, coming into your warrior one, exalted warrior, the Virabhadrasana, softening the shoulders, but reaching up with the fingers at the same time. Pressing down, lengthening up, the yin and the yang. Then the hands float down to heart level, step the back foot up, the hands draw back in one more time as we push. And then step the front foot back in and hug the tree, rounding out and soften. The arms open. Then this hand here scoops under, step in as you catch the moon. Then as you step out to the side, the bottom hand tosses the moon right off into the sky. The other hand just pushes down. Then circle it back around, parting the wild horse's mane. So if you could toss the moon. All right, this time as you toss away, the back foot steps back. We'll catch the moon. And then as you toss away, the palms rotate to face down. One arm reaches forward, the other behind. As you find yourself in warrior two, the proud warrior. Reaching through the fingers, softening the shoulders. You can always soften the elbows too if you get a little tight. Being kind to yourself, please. Then the back foot steps in. This hand here floats across the horizon. Step in as you catch the moon. We'll step out to the other side. Bottom hand tosses away, the other hand stays behind. Parting the wild horse's mane, creating tranquility out of chaos. Breathing in, breathing out. This time the back foot steps back. And then as you toss away, the palms rotate, spiraling the energy, reaching out, warrior two. You can adjust the feet as needed to feel stable, breathing, just feeling the sensations that arise. And then the back foot steps in, the hands circle in front as you hug the tree, rounding out, soften. The arms open. This hand here scoops under, the other hand on top. As you soften down, embrace the moon. We'll do that to the other side, spin the moon, coming down. All right, this time, as we catch the moon, the bottom hand comes up overhead, the other hand pushes down. Then circle it back around, catch the moon. Bottom hand comes up, the other hand pushes down. You're blocking out the sun. This time the bottom hand comes up, the opposite foot touches down right out in front. All right, step back in, catch the moon. We'll do that again. The bottom hand comes up, opposite foot, tap the toes right in front. One more time, the white crane spreads wings. This time, step back in and catch the moon. And then we'll spin the moon, reverse direction. The bottom hand comes up, the other hand pushes down. Just the arms at first. Just going to the other side. One more time with just the arms. All right, this time the bottom hand comes up. You can tap the toes of the opposite foot right out in front. The white crane spreads wings. Step back in, catch the moon. Bottom hand comes up. Tap the foot right out in front like you're testing out the waters. All right, one more time. All right, this time step the foot back in, the arms circle all the way out and around. They come all the way down as we gather from the earth, cross the wrists, and then release to the sky. Do that again, harmonizing yin and yang. Letting go. All right, one more time. All right, now this time, as the arms come down, the elbows bend, palms face away, as you soften the hips and knees coming into your goddess. Your goddess pose. Letting go of tension. You can spread the feet a little wider if that feels better for you. Pointing out the toes. Coming in and out if you like to. One more breath. And then rising up, the hands float all the way out and down. And then reverse direction, hug the big tree right out in front. Step the feet a little bit closer. And then from here, the hands flip. The bottom hand drops down. Toss away. The hand waves in towards the center and then presses forward, palm over palm. The other hand tosses away. The hand waves in, repulsing the monkey. Breathing in, breathing out. All right, one more time. Calming the monkey mind. All right, this time toss away, the other hand on top, and then step in, both hands together, pushing down and waving in. Breathing in as you rise up, breathing out, softening down. One more time. All right, this time we'll step out to the side. As you step out, the bottom hand brushes past the knee. Top hand pushes across. The top hand floats down, the bottom hand comes up and over. Going back to the beginning, brush, knee, and push. As always, don't worry about getting the movements perfect. As long as you're moving, I'm happy. All right, one more time. All right, this time the back foot steps back. The palms face up as the front leg stays bent, reaching up. And then you can keep the spine nice and long as you reach. The forearm comes down to the thigh. The other hand comes to half prayer position, or you can reach up to the sky, coming into your side angle pose. Fingertips reaching out, keeping the spine nice and long, pressing down through the feet. And then we'll reverse direction. The top hand comes down, the bottom hand comes up, coming into your dancing warrior. And then floating back down, side angle pose, one more time. Breathing. And then rotate back up. The back foot steps in. The front hand comes up and over, brush, knee, and push one more time. And then from here, sit back, the hands float to the center. And then this hand here drops down, toss away. The other hand on top as you step in, both hands together, pushing down as you wave in, softening the hips and knees, rising up. softening down. One more time, breathing in, breathing out. All right, this time we'll step out to the other side. And as you step out, the bottom hand brushes past the knee, top hand pushes across. Top hand floats down, bottom hand comes up and over, weaving it all together. Brush, knee, and push. Breathing in, breathing out. Once again, take as many breaths as you need. All right, one more time. This time the back foot steps back, the palms face up towards the sky, reaching out. The front leg can stay bent, and then reach across, keeping the spine long. The forearm can come down to the thigh. The other hand can come to half prayer position, or you can reach up, or anywhere in between. And you don't have to be very low either. Once again, meeting yourself where you're at. And then rotating back up when you're ready. Our dancing warrior, the other hand reaches down, the other hand floats up. Bring back down into side angle pose one more time. Just noticing, does it feel pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? Without adding on to the story. Just noticing what is there in the here and now. And then rotating back up. This time the back foot steps in, the front hand comes up and over, brush, knee, and push one more time. And then sit back, the hands float to the center, hug the tree, rounding out, soften. Breathing in, the arms open. As you breathe out, this hand here drops down and drifts over to the other side. The hands switch positions, and then they float across like clouds in the sky. When you get to the corner, they switch again. Wave hands like clouds. Breathing in and breathing out. Like white fluffy clouds drifting across the bright blue sky. All right, this time, the top hand makes a hook, step in as the bottom hand comes up. And then step out to the side, the bottom hand floats across the horizon. The palm turns out, shoulders sink. Circle it back around, single whip. All right, one more time. You can always soften the hook arm too if it gets tired. Once again, being kind to yourself, and then reverse direction. The hand comes up and over, and then softening down, the hand scoops through and back up. The snake creeps through the grass. We'll do that again. All right, one more time. All right, now this time the back foot steps back. Palms face up once again, the front leg straightens. Or you can keep a slight bend and then reach across, easing into the hip, coming back up. I like to ease in and out a few times with this one too. So just finding your edge where any more is too much, but any less is not quite there. And then when you're ready, you can rotate one arm down towards the leg, the other one up towards the sky, or half prayer position, triangle pose. Opening the side body, feeling stable, feeling present. You can always come down at any point, listening to your body and honoring it. And then when you're ready, you can rotate back up. The front leg bends. The back foot steps in. The back hand drops down and drifts over. The hands become clouds once again. Drifting across. And we'll drift across a few times, letting go of any tension you don't need. All right, this time top hand makes a hook as you step in. Bottom hand comes up. And then step out, the bottom hand floats across, palm turns out, shoulders sink. Do that again, single whip. All right, one more time. And then reverse direction. The hand comes up and over, melting down. The hand scoops through and back up. The snake creeps through the grass. We'll do that again. one more time. And this time, the back foot steps back, the palms face up, the front leg straightens. Reach across, keeping the spine nice and long, easing into the hip. Coming in and out a few times if you want. And it might feel a lot different side to side, that's okay. When you're ready, you can rotate one hand down, the other one can come to half prayer position or up to the sky or anywhere in between. Triangle pose. Breathing, letting go of tension, letting go of striving and perfection, instead replacing that with curiosity. And then rotating back up. The front leg bends, the back foot steps in, the back hand drops down and drifts over. Wave hands like clouds, drifting across, nice and slow, like a moving meditation. Nice and easy, we'll go a few more times, really tuning in. Feeling the sensations. One more time, cloud hands. And then hug the tree, bring it back to center, round out and soften. And then from here, the arms open up wide. This hand here scoops under as you step in, catch the moon. Then we'll step out to the side, the bottom arm comes up, the other hand pushes down, warding off. Circle it back around, do that again. It's like your arm is passing through a waterfall, streaming down the mountain. One more time. This time the bottom hand scoops up, the fingertips slide down, and then circle it around, rolling back. One more time. This time you can toss it away. And the hand waves in, pressing palm to palm, shift the weight forward, slide down, toss away, fold it in, press. One more time. Call this one the press. This time the hands spread apart, then draw in towards the heart, and then push back out. Just like we did in the beginning, push and pull, coming full circle. All right, one more time. And then from here, sit back, wipe across the horizon. You're wiping the slate clean. Then step in and catch the moon. We'll step out to the other side. As you step out, the bottom arm comes up, the other hand comes down. Circle it back around, warding off. All right, one more time. And then from here, the bottom hand scoops under, the fingertips slide down. Circle around, rolling back, sometimes called yielding. It's receiving. Can we receive as gracefully as we give? And then toss it away. The hand waves in, pressing forward, nice and soft. We'll do that again, the press. All right, one more time. This time the hands separate and draw in, and then we'll push back out. Push and pull as we learn to move like nature, just like the ocean. Tide rolls in, tide rolls out. And then from here, sit back and open. Wipe across, step in, catch the moon. We'll do each movement one time, grasping the bird's tail. Step out as you ward off, roll back, toss away, press, release, draw in, and push. And then sit back and open. We'll do that on the other side, grasping the bird's tail. Step in as you catch the moon. Step out as you ward off. Roll back. Toss away. Press. Release. Draw in. And push. All right, this time stay with me. Sit back as the hands float to the center, and then shift your weight back over here as you step the other foot in. The hands circle out and around, and they meet right back at the heart. Prayer position. Now you can keep your foot on the ground or the earth, or you can lift it up the leg above or below the knee, coming into your tree pose. Letting go of tension, breathing. And you can stay right here, or if you want, you could spread your branches. It's okay if it's a windy day. Letting go. Just breathing, feeling the sensations, bringing mindfulness to your body. Sometimes it helps to focus on one point. The drishti, you say in yoga. All right, when you're ready, you can step down, the hands turn out, and then we'll do that on the other side. So step the other foot in, the hands come together to meet in front of the heart. Bottom foot can step in, either connected with the earth or coming up the leg. And then once again, if you want, you can spread out your branches, reaching up or even softening down. What is your body calling for in the here and now? And then when you're ready, you can step down and hug the tree, rounding out and then soften. The arms open up wide. And then from here, you can step one foot in, and then we'll cross the wrists right in front of the heart. Step out to the side as the hands brush out as well. From here, you can lift the knee, point it straight ahead, or you can open the hip to the corner. Coming down. Touching down as needed. This time, kick the heel to the corner, or straight down, or anywhere in between. And then finally, we'll open the arms as you kick the heel. The heel kick. Coming back in. Once again, you can kick down as well. That still counts. All right, one more time, step up and kick with heel. It's the official name. It's a very specific one. All right, from here, the arms spread out to the sides, and then we'll step the other foot in, cross the wrists. Then step back out to the side, the hands brush out as well. This time you can lift the knee if you want, either straight ahead or to the corner. This time you can kick the heel, either straight to the corner or straight down. Once again, meeting yourself where you're at, you can always go forward from there. This time the arms open, the heel kick. I call it for short. Let's do that one again. Kicking down if that works better for you. All right, one more time. Heel kick. Beautiful. All right, and then from here, the arms spread out to the sides, and then step one foot in, come on the ball of the foot, and the arms spread out like beautiful wings of a bird. Then you can lift the legs straight up in front or touch down as needed. This one might feel a little different. This time the arms come up and over just as much as you can. And then stepping down, we'll do that on this side, the crane. Just the arms at first. Like a beautiful bird soaring through the sky. You can lift the leg if you want. And then the arms come up and over just as much as you can. Breathing. We'll do that again on this side. You can lift right up if you want, and you can even hold it if you want. Touching down as needed. The crane. Once again, finding a focal point can be helpful, your drishti. And then stepping down one more round on this side, the crane. Still riding the wave, riding the breath, feeling the flow. All the way up and over, one last time, and then stepping down, the hands come down, and then we'll reverse direction, the hands come right out in front. As you soften, hug the tree, the arms open, the hands float down, the palms face up, one hand on top of the other. And this hand drops down and floats all the way up and over, down the midline of the body. Other side, breathing in as the hand floats up, breathing out, centering. We'll do that again, creating mental focus and clarity. One more time, centering. And then both arms float all the way up and over, just as much as you can. The hands float down to the waist as you soften the hips and knees, circling the hands in front as if you had a big ball right in front of the body, coming back up to the heart. And then down, do that again. All the way up and over, down to the waist. This time we'll make a diamond shape with the hands right in front of the heart. Press out. Call this opening the heart. And the hands float down. We'll do that again. Breathing in as you rise up. Breathing out, softening down. Circling in front, gathering in the energy to transform into loving kindness and self-compassion. All the way up and over, one more time. Down to the waist. This time we'll make a diamond shape again, right in front of the heart, and then press out, reaching, connecting, sending out all your loving kindness out to the world. May all beings be free from suffering. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they live with ease. And then turning your palms to face yourself, the hands come to the heart. May I be kind to myself. May I feel connected with all beings. May I love myself just as I am. Then the hands can float down to the lower abdomen. You can step your feet together or as close as you can. You can close your eyes or just keep a soft gaze and let your body rock and sway ever so slightly. Bamboo in the wind. Feeling into the body, noticing the sensations that arise. Feeling into the breath, noticing the inflow and the outflow, without trying to control it in any way. And then feeling into your heart, expressing gratitude to yourself for being here today. And if your eyes were closed, you can slowly open them. The hands can come together in front of the heart. We can finish with a bow. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for Tai Chi and Yoga Flow. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'd love to hear how it felt for you. Please type in the chat or the comments how you're feeling right now. I'd love to hear about your experience. All right, so stick around if you can, because we're gonna break down the movement grasping the bird's tail. All right, so that way you can learn how we do it in our online studio, where we do traditional Tai Chi as well. It's a great complement to each other, the flow and then traditional Tai Chi, yoga, Qigong. We have a lot of different mindful movement activities that we love to do. It really helps become more present in life, no matter which style you do. All right, we also have guided meditation as well. All right, I'm gonna lower down the music here. But right now, I'm gonna break down a movement called grasping the bird's tail. It's actually a 4-part movement. you're actually going to kind of learn 4 moves today. And so depending on which tradition or which teacher you have in traditional Tai Chi, sometimes they count it as 4 different movements. That's why when you get into the longer forms, some call it like the 103, some the 108, some I think the 85. There's all different numbers for it. It's just the way they count it, but most of them are the long form in the Yang style especially. All right, and so what we're going to do is break down grasping the bird's tail, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about where that name came from. All right, so the first, I'll demonstrate it first, and then we'll break it down. All right, so we start off usually in the flow by catching the moon. Ward off. Roll back. Press. And push. All right, so I'll do that again. Sometimes I like to do it twice so you can pick up some more details the second time usually. All right, so catch the moon, grasping the bird's tail. Ward off. Roll back. Press. And push. All right, so those are the 4 movements which are contained in that whole movement called grasping the bird's tail. You might hear it as seizing the sparrow's tail, or there's all different names for it. Usually involves a bird of some sort. So, all right, so let's break it down, and then I'll tell you about the name too. So first, I like to do is break down the footwork. So let me tilt my camera down so you can see my footwork a little better. All right, that should be better, I think. Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna do the back view so you can follow along if you want. All right, so we start off with the feet usually symmetrical, and then we step in. We're gonna go that way. So we step into a T-step, we open the hip, and then we step into our bow step. The back foot turns in, so that's ward off. Then we sit back, and then we go forward again into our bow step. That's roll back and then press. Then we come back again, and then we push. All right? So we're basically just going from a T-step to a bow step, and then just kind of going back and forth in a little dance. Back to our bow step, just shifting the weight back and forth. All right, let's do that again. We'll just do one side today. All right, so step into your T-step. So shift all your weight into your left leg. The right foot becomes empty, or just touching down slightly. Then open the right hip, step down into the right side, into your bow step. The back foot turns in 45 degrees, that's ward off. Then we sit back and pour the weight into the left leg, and then we go into press, bow step, and then sit back one more time, and then we go into our push. All right, so remember with the bow step, 60% of your weight's on the front leg, 40 on the back. We have a nice channel, so we're not real narrow. Now in yoga, you might have noticed that when we transition like from parting horse's mane, we step back and in. And so that's one of the things with yoga is it's usually a little bit more narrow with some of the warrior moves especially. But it does, and usually the heel is in line with the back instep traditionally. But if you want to stay wider, that's okay. I promise I won't get mad, so, as I like to say. But that way you can make it yours. So you want to let the yoga conform to you, not you conform to what you think it should look like. And then you'll have a way better experience, I think, and less likely to get injured too. All right, so that's the footwork. Let's talk about the arms. All right, I'm going to do this facing, let's see, we'll go that way again. So we'll go to, I guess that's your right. All right, so I'll be your mirror image. All right, so don't worry about the feet too much. But first off, we catch the moon. So the left hand on top, the right hand underneath. All right, and then as we open the hip, we kind of open to the side, right? So as we step into the bow step, the bottom arm comes up, the other hand pushes down. All right, and so the difference is, if you might be like, well, what's the difference between this and parting horse's mane, right? Parting horse's mane, the arm's up a little bit higher and the palm is facing up towards the sky, fingertips are pointing up. With warding off, it's rotated to facing straight out to the side, almost like you're doing a hug the tree. So it's like a half hug, all right? And it's horizontal so that it's parallel with the earth. All right, it's like a block. So we'll talk about the martial aspect too, actually. We'll do that today. But yeah, so basically we're doing like a block or an expansion, or we're trying to push someone off us, right? So it's warding them off, all right? The other hand pushes down, all right? So that's what that one's for. So let's do that again. So we'll catch the moon. So step in, the left hand on top, right hand underneath, step out into your bow step. The bottom arm, which is your right arm, comes up, left hand pushes down, all right? But it's going straight down here to where the bottom hand, now there's a lot of little details, but in general, you don't want it to be too far back. We'll just leave it at that for now. So come a little bit forward here. All right, the next movement is roll back. We go into even more detail. I like to do it in layers, so it's not too much at once. But all right, so we're at the end of ward off. Then the left hand rotates to come under. The other hand rotates too. All right, so we go from the right hand facing towards you, the left hand facing down, then we rotate. All right, so there's this kind of rotational movement. So where the right hand now is facing away, the left hand is facing up. All right, then as we sit back, the hands slide down. And then we toss away to the back corner. All right, and then so from here, the hand folds in, pressing palm to palm. And so the arms are a little bit higher, so they're not really softened down too much here. So with traditional, with the yang style, like the 24 form, all the different forms are different, but this one's more in the 24 style, 24 form, yang style, is the arms are up a little bit higher. So when we press, they're almost not quite horizontal with the earth, so but they're not, elbows aren't pointing down either. So we're kind of out here and we're pressing. Now I wanted to show you that people ask me all the time, where do I put my hands? So I'm going to try to show you, we're just pressing the heels of the hands together. All right, but we're not pressing hard, we're just contacting, so still soft. All right, so it kind of looks like that as we're pressing out like that. All right, so the back hand comes up and over and folds in, pressing palm to palm, the heels of the hand. And then, as you can see, we're almost in this hug the tree distance of the arms, but we're a little in. So as we shift weight forward, they expand just a little bit. All right, but we're not doing this, so we're not really coming out too far. We're almost there, so we just shift the weight forward and then it just expands a little bit. So that's the press. All right, and then the hands rotate down, they separate. All right, so now we're shoulder width apart, shoulder height as well. But still soft, okay, so you're not rigid, so we're still soft. Then we draw in towards the heart, and then there's our push. We come forward. All right, and then one tip for the push is that it's not a straight push, like you're kind of pushing someone, because if they're bigger than you, if you have an opponent, then that might not do anything. You might bounce off them. But instead, one of the ideas of Tai Chi is that we're rooted. And so your opponent might be rooted too, so you want to uproot them. So it's more like a lift. So you're coming forward and then lifting up. All right, so that, and then when we come back, we come towards the heart, we come down just a little bit, and then as we come forward, we push but then lift so that we can kind of get our opponent off balance. And it's a lot more effective even if they're bigger than you. So, because Tai Chi is a martial art for those that didn't know. All right, and so that's where a lot of these movements come from. All right, so we talked a little bit about the martial aspect, but I want to talk a little bit more about ward off, because that one, we see that a lot in a lot of the movements, even like crane spreads wings, we call that ward off. We're just going up, ward off to the side. And so a lot of these movements are kind of like a ward off type of energy. So it's important. This one's important. All right, so when we do ward off, as I mentioned, we're kind of expanding and pushing someone off. The energy point is the middle of the forearm, so that's where you're doing contact to the opponent. All right, or if they're going to throw like a punch at you, then the contact is like the top front of the forearm to where it's a block. And then from there, you can grab their arm and then bring them into a joint lock. And so you can control them and bring them down, rotate them wherever, or just have them secured to where you have the advantage. All right, there's a lot of joint locks and takedowns and controlling the opponent versus brute force with Tai Chi. At least with the Yang style, it seems to be a lot more of this going with the energy, using their energy with them, really getting to sense and kind of work with your opponent. All right, and so that's ward off. With roll back, we actually are doing a takedown. So we're grabbing and we can take them down towards the earth. All right, or we can bring them more horizontal. We can pull them down, do another movement if you like. So there's really an infinite amount of options. But that's the idea, is that we're actually pulling down, we're yielding to them as well. So if they're coming at you, maybe you don't want to take them down, you just want to guide them away, and then we just toss them away. So we just have them keep on going. And so I use that one a lot when I'm in like a confrontation just in life, is I just imagine the energy, say the person's being really rude to me or really offending me or whatever, then I just kind of imagine the words coming in and then I just kind of let them roll off, toss them away. All right, so you can use this in life as well. So if that doesn't work, then we need to add in a little bit of force here. So we added in the press, like they won't get off you, so now we got to really add in a little bit of press. But we do it soft. So I just demonstrated something more like of delivery of energy. Now you don't want to do that until you've been practicing for a long time, and then you can start to transform softness into hardness. All right, but for now, everything really soft. All right, because you could potentially get injured if you're not quite ready to deliver energy with force. But you actually can do that with Tai Chi. All right, and then finally the push, we kind of talked about that already, is we're uprooting the opponent and then pushing them off balance mostly. All right, so that's some of the martial applications of grasping the bird's tail. It's one of the original 13 movements of Tai Chi that we know of modern day Tai Chi. And so that one's really fundamental, that whole sequence there. So, all right, now where did that name come from? Grasping the bird's tail. Where's this bird coming from? And so there's different stories with that too. And so one of the stories is that it's almost as if we have a bird resting on our hand, and we're being so sensitive, so in tune, so yielding to the bird that it actually can't even take off, because it needs to take off from a stable surface, but we're yielding, so it's not even able to let go. So we're increasing our sensitivity, right, to all the sensations, to the internal world and our external world. All right, and there's another story I like too that I heard, is that it's almost as if we're grasping the essence of the bird. We're really so focused on the tail. We're grasping the tail to where we can really start to notice things we don't usually, things that we normally tune out. So as we practice Tai Chi, we slow down, we start to notice things. We start to feel more. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes emotions come up. And so all that stuff is part of the process. So if it does happen, that's okay. All right, so just go easy with yourself. Take it slow. Make sure you have some support if you need it. But you can always reach out to me too, or any of our teachers, and begin with breath. I'm sure if you're in the studio especially, then I'm sure we're here to support you. So, all right. With that said, I did want to mention, was that valuable? Was that helpful? Type value in the comments of the chat if you liked that breakdown. So I know a lot of people like to learn more of the details. But remember, in the flow classes, you don't have to get any of that perfect. You can toss wherever you want, and you can push wherever you want, whatever helps you get into the flow. But that is the traditional way. Sometimes it's nice to add that in, and so you can feel more comfortable. So hopefully that helps. All right, now I want to finish by leaving you off with a nice quote. I always like to finish with a poem or a quote, so you can have a seat if you haven't already. All right, so this quote, oh, I changed my camera here. There we go. Is from Lao Tzu, who wrote the Tao Te Ching, or is thought to have. And basically the Tao Te Ching is the foundational philosophy of Tai Chi and of other traditions, but Tai Chi really draws from a lot of those principles. And so it's kind of paraphrasing a little bit. So Lao Tzu said, "A knower of the truth travels without leaving a trace, speaks without causing harm, and gives without keeping an account. This is called following the light." So I want to thank you all again for sharing your light with me and the rest of the community, and allowing us to share it with you too. This dynamic exchange, so powerful, especially during these times. So thank you so much. I hope you continue with the 21-day Tai Chi challenge. All right, if you are falling behind, that's okay. You can catch up at any point. Just go easy with yourself too. All right, you can do more than one video a day too, by the way. So but we're really just find a way to make it a part of your daily life and you'll get the most benefit. So what I'd love for you to do is, if you're part of the challenge, then go into the challenge Facebook group and type in the #1 benefit or insight that you got today or so far in the challenge. You can do it, you can just write in the comments here too if you want. But I really want to know, and I love to hear from all of you, and it helps to motivate each other because I want us to all support each other, especially during these times that we're having. So all right, well, thank you so much. Reach out to me anytime. So the next video in the series is going to be day number, I think is it day number 13 or 14? I forget. I lost track. But anyways, you'll be getting, if you signed up for the challenge, you'll be getting a link in your email to a video where it'll have traditional flexibility exercises. And I look forward to seeing you all again real soon. Thank you so much. Peace.